It's finally deer season, y'all. Second only to Christmas as the most wonderful time. You get it. And it just so happens I'm what you call a natural born hunter and outdoorsman. Pretty sure most of you already figured it out by looking at me when I'm about 1/164th Cherokee. Pair that with my superior stealth and natural tracking abilities, and deer practically beg me for mercy. Let's go hunting. I don't think the deer are moving today. Time for plan B. Luckily, some good Samaritans / family members took pity on me and gave me some of their excess venison. And with it, I'm going to show y'all how to make some jerky. Pretty good too, because jerky makes everything better. Now this first step is optional, but I always soak my deer meat in buttermilk the night before cooking it. This draws out a lot of the blood and keeps the final product from tasting too wild. Some might argue that the wild taste is the point of eating a wild animal. And while I don't hate the wilderness wing, I like it toned down just a little bit. But it's all personal preference. Next, I wash all the buttermilk off the meat. I just run it under the faucet under cold water, then toss it into a bowl. Then I cut the meat into strips and toss it in the seasoning mix. You gotta be sure to mix the jerky and the seasoning mix really well. Then cover the bowl and toss it in the fridge overnight. Now let's pump the brakes a little and talk about jerky seasoning, shall we? A wise man once said there are more stars in the heavens than ways to make jerky. I'd call that man a liar. Seems like everybody you know's got a jerky recipe passed down, guarded. They'll even fight you over it. And it's right up there with barbecue sauce, cat head biscuits, and a way to tie a hook. And for the longest time, I didn't have any idea where to even start looking for a jerky recipe. Hardly anybody would say anything. Thankfully, a real good friend shot me a link of a recipe he's used for a little bit. It's sort of middle of the road flavor-wise, but it gets the job done really well. It's from the site allrecipes.com, and I put the link to that recipe in the description. Here's the ingredients on your screen. I've done so many batches I don't really measure anymore. I just kind of eyeball it. And I'm also a threat to add a few pinches of red pepper or maybe some of the Tony's Cajun Creole seasoning. That usually adds a good little zest to it. And this recipe and video is also good with beef jerky as well, so don't think that there's a separate one. This recipe is actually for beef jerky. And once your meat is done soaking overnight, it's time to dry or dehydrate it. And this step contains a lot of variables, and it really depends on the person making the jerky. Are you going to use an oven, a dehydrator, maybe a smoker? There's really no wrong way, but you need to do your own personal research on that aspect. I use an Esco dehydrator, and I can usually cook it for about 3.5–4 hours on about 160 degrees. It's just what works best for my setup after, several bouts of trial and error. The best tip I can give you is about 3/4 of the way through, at about the 3-hour mark, pick up a piece and bend it. And if it snaps all the way, it's too crispy. And if it doesn't try to break at all, it needs a little more time. Probably about another 45 minutes to an hour. Now with that being said, I like mine on the crispier side. Jerky should have a pull to it, but if it gets too chewy, it's not any fun to eat. But y'all give it a try and tell me how you like it. And tell me how it works for you. And if you don't like your first batch, or you screw it up somehow, just make more. I tell you this, nobody's ever gotten annoyed having a sample free jerky. Ever. Your friends and co-workers will be just fine with the inconvenience. Trust me on that one. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. For the love of God, subscribe. Subscribe. On Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I'm on all of them. Check me out. Post some cool stuff, just saying. Again, thanks for watching. Eat some jerky. I'm out.